Let me set the scene for you. I'm sitting there, just casually scrolling through football clips on my phone. Same old routine. I've seen hundreds of plays, dozens of highlight reels. After a while, it all starts to blend together. I mean, when you've spent hours watching game tape and breakdowns, it takes something special to make you stop. But then, I pause. Like actually pause. My thumb hovers mid-scroll. I double-tap the screen to rewind. Watch it again. My eyebrows go up. Jaw kind of drops. And out loud I'm like, wait, what did I just watch? And here's the wild part, it wasn't just me. Patrick Mahomes, yeah, that Patrick Mahomes, the escape artist. The guy who throws no-look left-handed lasers. Like it's nothing. Even he stopped scrolling. Not only did he rewatch it, the man dropped a comment. That never happens. That's when I knew this wasn't just a solid play. This was something different. What we all saw was Shedeur Sanders doing something so cold, so precise, that it made one of the best quarterbacks alive sit up and pay attention. So naturally, I had to figure it out. What just happened? What was it about that one snap in a college game on a random Saturday that made even Mahomes feel the need to weigh in? Before we break it down, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give the video a like and let me know your take in the comments. It really helps out. Thanks for being here. Alright, let's talk about that play, because that moment wasn't just about points on a scoreboard, it was a shift. That was Shedeur Sanders stepping out from his father's shadow and planting his own flag. It wasn't just a touchdown, it was a message. A loud, clear, in-your-face message to the NFL. I'm not just Deion's kid. I'm here because I can ball. Now, let's rewind for context. If you're not deep into the football world, you might have missed how important that one play really was. Let's be honest, Shedeur wasn't projected to go super early, but on pure talent. He easily could have been a second-round guy. So, when the Browns grabbed him where they did, I'm telling you, that might end up being the steal of the draft. You remember how people still talk about the 49ers snagging Brock Purdy with the last pick? If Shedeur keeps playing like this, Cleveland could be having that exact same conversation 5 years from now, except this time, they'll be the geniuses, and here's why. Everybody loves to talk about quarterbacks with flashy tools, big arms, crazy speed, highlight reel plays. But that's not what makes legends. That's not what wins championships. What makes Shedeur different is the real stuff, processing speed. Calm under pressure. Smart decision making, pre-snap reads. He doesn't just play fast, he thinks fast. And the craziest part? He's doing all of this under a spotlight. Most college players never experience, because let's not forget, he's Deion Sanders' son. That's a blessing, and a curse. Every move he makes is magnified. Every incomplete pass gets picked apart. Half the world wants to see him prove greatness, runs in the family. The other half, just waiting for a slip-up so they can say, told. You just writing his dad's name. That pressure? It's real. You can see it sometimes. The tension before a big throw. The quick glance to the sideline after a mistake. Maybe he's checking for a nod from his dad. Maybe he's just trying to tune out the noise. Either way, when you're a Legends kid, every down feels like you're defending a legacy. But then something changed. You could feel it. Game had weight. Every snap mattered more than it should have. Colorado was locked in a brutal high-stakes battle. Down 4. Just under 3 minutes to play. The kind of tension you feel through the screen. The stadium buzzing. The energy. Unreal. And then came the moment, the drive. If you're a quarterback, this is when every coach in the country is screaming, play it smart. Don't force it, move the chains. Live to fight another down. But what Shedeur did next, that's what we're going to break down. Live to fight another down. That's what the coaching manual says. That's how you stay in the game. That's how you survive. But Shedeur Sanders, he wasn't reading the manual, he was writing his own book. The defense. They brought the house. 6, maybe 7 guys coming full speed. The offensive line didn't stand a chance, already sliding backward. Before the ball was even snapped, it was a collapsing pocket before it even existed, and every instinct in his body should have been screaming, check it down, throw it away, live to fight another play. But instead of bailing out or fading backwards, Shedeur steps into the chaos, right into the eye of the storm. And here's the first sign you're watching something different. Something special. He keeps his eyes downfield. Now the reads start to unfold. First option, covered. Second, double coverage. Deep shot, no shot. Safety's already floating over the top, cutting it off. Every route looks dead. But Shedeur, he sees something the rest of us don't. A sliver of daylight 2 feet wide, 35 yards down the field, bracketed by 3 defenders. And here's where the greats separate from the good. Good. Quarterbacks throw to open guys. Great quarterbacks anticipate who's going to be open, but the truly elite, they throw 2 spots that haven't even opened yet and trust their arm, their timing, and their vision to make it happen. So, Shedeur fires. And as he lets go, a defender grabs a fistful of jersey. This isn't just a pressure throw, it's a desperation throw, but the ball, man, it comes out like it's been guided by GPS. The touch, the spin, the placement. You just know this kid isn't guessing, he's in full command, and while the ball hangs in the air, time freezes. You know those moments in football where everything slows down? Yes. Where you can hear the crowd gasp individually, not as a roar, but as single breaths. The kind of moment that decides momentum, seasons, legacies. This was one of those. The ball floats just past the outstretched fingers of the defender, drops perfectly behind the safety trying to recover, and lands in stride like it had been rehearsed 100 times since childhood. Touchdown game. Over. But more than that, statement made. And here's what people need to understand. This wasn't just arm talent. This wasn't just accuracy. This was guts. This was courage. This was the mental toughness to say, yeah, I see the safe throw, but I'm going to take the hardest one because I know I can make it. That's why Mahomes reacted. That's why scouts are scrambling to pull up more film. Because Shedeur didn't just make a play, he made the play. The kind that changes the conversation. He showed that under pressure, under lights, with everything on the line, he doesn't fold. He's not just Deion Sanders' son, he's a quarterback, a leader, and maybe, just maybe, the future face of a franchise. So, if you weren't paying attention before, now's the time, because Shedeur Sanders just kicked the damn door open, and he's coming for everything. Before we dive in, take 2 quick seconds to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop your thoughts in the comments. It helps more than you know. Thanks for being here now. Let's talk about a moment that cut through the chaos. Like a laser. Shedeur Sanders under pressure steps up and rips a throw that made everyone stop and look. And sure, you might say, alright, cool, it's one play. But that's exactly where it gets interesting. Because this wasn't just some random analyst or a Twitter scout giving it a thumbs up. This was Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that Patrick Mahomes. The guy who's made a career out of doing the impossible with a football. The guy who's changed how we even think about playing quarterback. So when he sees something in a young player, you pay attention. And when Mahomes saw that throw, he didn't just nod at it, he gave it weight. He said that's how you do it under pressure. Kid's got ice in his veins, and that matters. Because when your buddy says something like that, it's nice. But when Mahomes says it, that's currency. That's credibility. That's like Michael Jordan tipping his cap after you drop 40 at the Garden. That's like Tom Brady saying, this kid's got it. But it gets better. Mahomes didn't just see the play and scroll past. Word is, he went back and watched it again, studied it, broke down the footwork, the timing, he watched it like quarterbacks watch other quarterbacks. That tells you everything you need to know. This wasn't just a highlight. This was a moment. And once Mahomes stamped it with approval, the football world took notice.
Scouts who weren't
even checking for Shedeur started requesting more film. Teams that had him pegged as a day 3 pick started second-guessing. Front offices began digging deeper. Because when the best quarterback in the game rewinds a throw and calls out the mental toughness behind it, that moves the needle. Social media lit up. Debates erupted. People were split. Was this just one big play, or the start of something real? And honestly, I get the skepticism. One throw doesn't make a career. You've got to show it week in and week out, especially against NFL defenses. That's just the reality. But sometimes, you get a glimpse. A moment that tells you what someone is made of. And that throw. It wasn't just about distance or arm strength. It was about composure. It's about grit. It showed what Shedeur got between the ears. Not just in the shoulder. And let's not forget, he's not just any college QB. He's Deion Sanders' son. Primetime's kid. Expectations are sky high. The pressure is constant. Most young players crack under that spotlight. But Shedeur, he stepped right into it and delivered. That's what makes this moment bigger than just one play. It was how it happened, when it happened, and who noticed it. And the ripple effects were immediate. Colorado's recruiting saw a bump, draft boards got reshuffled, and the conversation around the Sanders family changed from, can these guys really play, to how far can they go? Now look, I'm not saying a Mahomes cosign guarantees NFL success. We've seen college stars flame out before. The league is brutal. It's fast, smart, and unforgiving. Here's the thing what Shedeur did. That wasn't just raw talent. It was instinct, courage, the willingness to take a risk. When every coach would have told him to check it down. And you can't teach that, so I'll throw the question to you. Was this just a flash? Or the start of something special? Is Shedeur Sanders the real deal? Or are we looking at a one-hit wonder we'll be reminiscing about in a few years? And how much weight does a Mahomes endorsement carry for you? Does it change how you view Shedeur's potential? Bottom line, when the season's on the line, 4th and long, 2-minute drill, who do you want under center? The guy who plays it safe? Or the one who threads the needle and wins the game? Let me know in the comments.
Yes.
Let's talk about it, because whether you're sold on Shedeur or still on the fence, one thing's clear, this conversation is just getting started. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.